Hello, it's Phil here at digitaldjtips.com. Looking at a piece of lighting today. This is the Chauvet DJ Slim Beam Quad IRC. Now this is smaller than you'd think by looking at its promo material and even by looking at the box. It's a metal built, solidly built, nicely made piece of lighting with no moving parts. This is all, it's got 3 LED lights here. There's nothing that moves or swivels or anything in it. The only moving part you have is the part that I'm undoing here, which lets you move it through 180 degrees. Now you can mount this on a truss like this. It's got mounting holes here. But you can also put it, it's got rubber feet, so you can put it as I had it there, just flat like that. And then the idea of this is that you use it, these are 3 beams, these are 3 fixed beams. So you use them, because they're LED, they're very tightly defined, you know, the edges are very tight, they're very intense colours and they're bright as well. And you use it, for instance here, you could use it behind me here on the floor, uplighting what's behind you. So mobile DJs would use something like this to uplight their backdrop or the wall behind them, for instance. And because of the way it's made, it's very easy to fit 2 or 3 of these together, so you can have quite a wide uplighting. But also, as you're going to see in a minute when I demo this thing, it's got some programs on it that means that if you have it mounted up here, pointing down, 2 or 3 of them pointing down on a dance floor, if it's a small dance floor, a small club or a small mobile setup, that could be all you need because of the way the programs work. There's a lot of variety going on in there even though the lights are static. So let's have a look at the controls on this and I'll talk you through its capabilities, and then at the end of this review we'll have a look at how it looks. So let's put some power into the unit and I'll talk you through how the controls work. So down here are the main controls for the unit. There are programs and there are sensitivity settings and sound to music settings and so on. You have a menu button, an up, down, a down, an up, down and an enter button here. So the menu button, by pressing through the menu, we go through various options. I'm going to start off with the program option, which is this one here, where it says P, you press enter, and then we have 10 programs that we can look at, which, as you can tell from looking at the lights themselves, I'll show you what they look like on the wall in a minute, but as you can tell by looking at the lights themselves, I'm just flashing through the programs now. There are a variety of different speeds and sequences in here, which you can select in order to have something that's just going all the time to the music. Now, there's also an option in here for setting it to listen to the music via this microphone. So there's a sound to light section as well, which effectively gives you variations on what we're looking at now, but it will respond to the bass frequencies, usually the kick drum, of course, in the music that you're playing. Now, the other setting here that's worth pointing out is C, this one here. Now, C is basically fixed programs. So these are where you have nothing changing unless you change it on here. So that's blue, that's kind of a yellow one, there's a purpley one, and so on. Again, I'm going to show you these on the wall behind me actually in a minute. At the end of this piece. So this is where you would set it to just uplight something and leave it constantly in that colour. Now, a lot of this stuff is controllable via the infrared remote control. There is a picture of the remote control on the box, but be clear, there's no remote control in the box. They're not very expensive. You can buy an optional remote control, which has things like strobe and blackout and so on, so you can control this via that method. And also on the ends of the unit here, so I've just plugged the power in here, and for those of you who use DMX, which is basically the lighting equivalent of MIDI, as well as the power in here, we've got a DMX in, and then here, as well as the power out, there's a DMX out, so you can chain these things together for both power and control. So you could have an array of these going along the back, for instance, of your DJ setup, giving you many, many lights and not just the 3 that you can see going here. Now I've just spun this around onto the wall behind me, and if I just get down here and put you through some of those programs I just showed you a second ago so you can see the difference. This is the different channel settings for keeping it all very stable and static, and then this is the programs and what they look like. And I also wanted to show you the other very typical way of using a lighting effect like this, which would be to do exactly what I'm going to do now. Take it and put it on the wall. I'm going to disappear for a second, and then push it up like this so that your lighting is flashing in a manner like that. I look ridiculous. I can see myself on that screen. So you can see, you know, just one of those is giving you a really nice effect, and you can of course have that static as well. But if you had an array of those across the back here, then very easily, with a very small, lightweight piece of lighting, you could get something quite impressive. And of course, if you add in daisy chaining and DMX control, or just music to light control, there's a lot of effect there for basically a small amount of space and weight. and also price. They're not particularly expensive. So there it is then, the Chauvet Slim Beam Quad IRC. We like it. We think it's going to be something that a lot of mobile guys especially are going to find useful. And also because it's got no moving parts, it's utterly silent. So for somewhere like this where we're in a studio, it's very useful. In fact, we're going to use it. We're going to try and light our rather boring grey tiles behind me with this very unit. So you might well see this in use over the next few videos that we make here at Digital DJ Tips. The Chauvet DJ Slim Beam Quad IRC. We've written this up in a full review over on digitaldjtips.com. And if you've enjoyed this, please subscribe. There's a link below this video, and you can also join Digital DJ Tips following the link there too. I'll see you again soon.